Today we're going to read a fable called The North Wind and the Sun. And the closed reader habit on this page says, "What do the pictures tell you about the traveler that the fable does not?" When you reread the fable, circle details in the pictures that add to your understanding of the story. So as I read, you need to look at the pictures and see what in the picture helps us understand the story. The north wind and the sun had a quarrel about which of them was stronger. While they were disputing, a traveler passed along the road wrapped in a cloak. "Let us agree," said the sun, "that he is the stronger who can strip that traveler of his cloak." "Very well," growled the north wind, and at once sent a cold, howling blast against the traveler. With the first gust of wind, the ends of the cloak whipped about the traveler's body. But the harder the wind blew, the tighter he held it to him. Then the sun began to shine. At first his beams were gentle, and as the pleasant warmth after the bitter cold of the north wind, the traveler unfastened his cloak and let it hang loosely from his shoulders. The sun's rays grew warmer and warmer. The man took off his cap and mopped his brow. At last he became so heated that he pulled off his cloak, and to escape the blazing sunshine, threw himself down in the welcome shade of a tree by the roadside. So we should circle things in the pictures that help us understand the story. One thing you should have circled is in the top picture, where you can see the wind blowing and the guy is holding his hat and his cloak is blowing, but he's holding it around him, probably because he's cold. And then in the other picture, you should have circled the man under the tree and how he's wiping his brow and he looks hot and exhausted. Now we are going to answer the questions on the following page. So we have quotes from the text, and we're going to tell us, based on that text, how the traveler feels, and then what the picture adds to how the traveler feels. So the first quote is, "With the first gust of wind, the ends of the cloak whipped about the traveler's body, but the harder the wind blew, the tighter he held on to it." So based on that, how does the traveler feel? Well, I would say that the traveler feels cold. That's why he's wrapping his cloak around him and holding on to it. He feels very cold. He pulls the cloak around him for warmth. That is an inference. It doesn't say he's cold. We're inferring that based on the text. What does the picture add to the meaning of it? Well, not only is he cold, but in the picture he's also holding his hat on, so he must be about to lose all of his clothes and must be worried that his clothes are going to blow off of him. The traveler's face shows pain and discomfort. It looks like it's hard to walk forward because the wind is blowing in his face and he's traveling on foot. He is leaning in that picture forward a great deal to try to walk against that wind. The next quote, "At last he becomes so heated that he pulled off his cloak, and to escape the blazing sunshine, threw himself down in the welcome shade of a tree by the roadside." Based on that, how does the traveler feel? He probably feels hot and tired. The traveler feels warmer and warmer until he takes off his cloak and gets out of the sun's rays. What does the picture tell us? Well, the picture shows us how tired he is. He's leaning up against the tree. He's wiping his brow. He's got his hat and his cloak off of him. The traveler wipes sweat from his forehead, showing that he's very warm. He's slumped under the tree because the heat has made him too tired to keep walking. He can't even go any further. He's got to stop and rest before he can continue. Now we're going to analyze what the picture adds to the meaning of the fable, and we're going to use details from the text and the picture to support our answer. So we're going to take what we have here in our chart and write it in a paragraph format on page 390. So this is a sample answer about how the text and the picture tell us the meaning and support the meaning of the fable, and how they support the meaning, how the text supports the picture and the picture supports the text. Your answer does not have to be exactly like this sample answer, but it should be somewhat similar. The details in the first picture show the traveler must feel very cold as he pulls the cloak around him. With the wind blowing in his face, the traveler holds his hat tightly and his face clearly shows discomfort. It looks as if it's hard to walk forward into the wind. After the sun warms the traveler, he becomes too hot for his cloak. A detail in the second picture shows sweat running down his face. That he is slumped under a tree suggests that the heat has made him tired. So that is how the pictures and the text go together to help us understand what is going on in the fable. If you have any questions, please shoot me an email.